Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, my name is Sarah, and I recently joined this club, and this is my first speech. When I thought about what to talk about today, it wasn't really difficult because I knew I would want to share the story that brought me here to this club with you. And I'm going to be very upfront. I'm a big procrastinator. So does anyone else in this room have any experience with procrastination? Great. I like that because hopefully this speech is going to be relevant to you guys. So I recently started a new job, and with that new job, I knew that I would have to do a lot of presentations and meetings and things like that, and I knew that that's something that I'm not really good at, and I knew I needed to be a more confident speaker and be more articulate and just be more effortless when I speak. And so I knew that that's something I needed to work on. But unfortunately, I kept procrastinating it. Another example of how I procrastinated something that I wanted to do is how I procrastinated running a marathon. Running a marathon was a big goal of mine for many years, but I never did it. I even registered for the Chicago Half Marathon 2 years ago. I didn't really train for it, so I ended up not doing it. And then one night, I had a conversation with my boyfriend that really changed everything. It was a pretty trivial conversation in the beginning, but then we ended up talking for a while about this and that, and then I started telling him about dreams that I have, things that I want to accomplish, and he looked at me and said, you know, I feel like you're procrastinating your life. That someday that you're waiting for is not going to come. Now is the time. And that was it. The next day I came from work, I sat down at my desk, I started making a list. I made a list of things that I had procrastinated and that were important to me. And when I made that list, and I looked at the things that were on the list, I realized that there's a pattern. All these things that were that I had wrote down were things that I was scared of, that required me to get out of my comfort zone, and that somehow just were difficult to tackle for me. And I started working through that list. So number one was public speaking. I went online and I had heard of Toastmasters before, but I didn't really know what that's about. So I looked it up. I looked at the different groups in Chicago, and I started going to different meetings. And this one was the one I liked most, and so I became a member. And the other thing that was high on my list was the running thing, right? So I have a coworker who runs, and I went to her office and I said, hey, I want to start doing this. I want to run a half marathon, help me. And then she told me, there's this really cool race. It's called the Rock and Roll Half Marathon, and it's great for people who are starting. It's not very competitive. It's a cool thing. You should do that. So I signed up, and I actually did it 2 weeks ago, and it was really great. And that list is obviously still a work in progress. There's a lot of things that I'm working through, but it's going really well. So I guess my message for you is, if you can relate to that in any way, now is the time. Make your list and start tackling it one thing at a time. And I can promise you that it'll feel really good.